Hey, it's Andy from the Adobe Express team here. In this short walkthrough, we're going to show you all of the latest features available in Content Scheduler designed to help you grow your brand. So let's start in the home screen and we'll click the social media tab. This gives you all of your starting points depending on the networks that you want to create your content for. Also a reminder to try out Content Scheduler, of which we're going to get into in a second. And brand new is the ability to create a social caption directly from home. As it's me and I'm always talking about the importance of social media for building a brand, that's what we're going to create a post about. And this is great just to ignite some inspiration just when you've got an idea of a post you want to create. Here we can just type in what the post topic is, importance of social media for growing a business, and let's generate. That launches the post composer, will allow you to select the multiple channels you might want to publish this to. I'm just going to put this one on Facebook for now, however. Now, let's have a look at this. Looks all right to me. It needs a bit of editing, I think. It needs the human touch. So let's go ahead and insert this. Far too many emojis here. I'm just going to go ahead and use that emoji instead. Remove in today's digital age because that sounds a bit AI, I think. So let's make it sound a little bit more human as well. And I think this looks pretty good to me. We can edit it a little bit. Also, something else that I love using is the ability to rewrite content too. So not only does AI give you a really nice starting point, which allows you then to put your kind of human touch on it, it also allows you to refine as well. So I'm just going to take this sentence and I think that could be rewritten. So I'm going to press generate, just rewrite that segment. Right, that looks a bit better. Insert that, that just replaces that element. So I'm just going to put a carriage return in just to make sure readability is a bit better. And again, it's all about having your human touch and working in partnership with AI to speed up content creation. Now with that, we don't have an image yet. We're going to go ahead and create that in a moment. So for now, we're just going to save that as draft and let's go ahead and put that out on Wednesday. But we're not ready to put that out yet. So we're going to toggle on save as draft because we're going to edit that afterwards. Now we saved as draft. That's all good. We can now view it in the calendar if we want to, which is where we're heading next. Let's go into schedule. Let's do a bit of a quick walkthrough reminder of all of the features you have here. If you toggle this, you can put your unscheduled posts in here. This is great for any ideas that you might have that you don't know what to do with yet. So ideas, links, anything like that, you can easily just drag and drop that into the calendar as and when you're ready to publish it. So that can be really useful. You've also got the ability to toggle on and show only draft posts. As you can see, I use draft posts quite extensively to plan my upcoming content plan. We're going to talk more about that in a second. But also you can have a quick look at anything related to the type and state that they're in, whether they're published, failed, draft, scheduled, etc. And we can also pinpoint specific channels. So we can see what have we got going out specifically on Instagram or X, etc. So those filters are particularly useful, I find. So let's just remove that filter. So show all. Now, those filters get even more useful when you've got multiple different channels. Here we've got all of our networks connected, so with the exception of Pinterest, but we can have up to 6 different channels and then 3 accounts of each, so 18 in total. So here, if you've got 3 Instagram accounts, you're good to go. So we just go ahead, we've got a new row here and press connect. This will guide you through the connection process. You need to have an Instagram business account. There's lots of details related to how you can do that, and we'll just go ahead and connect the relevant business account. And that's how we can get multiple different accounts per social channel. Great if you're managing multiple brands or clients, etc. And again, that's where the filters can be super useful because now we can filter out based on that network. All right, so I said I'd come back to draft posts, so let's go ahead and do that now. You notice that I use draft posts a lot for planning the content plan because what I don't want to happen is to come in over Monday and think about, oh, I've got a blank calendar that I need to fill. We actually want to have a structure behind our content plan right off the bat. This is where drafts are really useful. And we've just improved draft posts, so you don't need to add a channel by them now. You can use them much more in the context of planning. So press draft post here, don't need to select channels because it's independent. And for example, let's say I have a quote post. I like to put a little emoji in as well, because it just helps us identify these elements and these posts and just makes the calendar look a bit more interesting. Just add as a draft. And that's it. So we can just use those quote posts, we can pull them around, etc. And also, rather than having to create them each time, you could just click into that podcast snippet and we'll just duplicate that. Easy, duplicate, add draft, drag down. So very quick for you just to start mapping out your content strategy. It's one of my top tips, I would say, for speeding up social content creation. All right then, so as you can see, we've got quite a lot scheduled already, lots happening next week. We could easily go into those posts. We can edit the reel cover because this one is for an Instagram reel if we really want to highlight what the main focus of this video is. We've also got options to put some hashtags in the first comment if we need, and we can preview that content too so we can see what it looks like. So everything's looking pretty good. What we also got the opportunity to do, I don't believe social content should ever be one and done. If content's good and it's taken time to produce it, we should look at remixing it, maybe change the copy and change the time and network that we'll schedule it to. So we could easily duplicate this and say, actually, I want this to go out on TikTok and I'm going to put that out next month, for example. So let's go into July. Let's look at 24th of July in the morning. Morning's always my favorite, preferred times to schedule posts. It's typically when they get highest engagement. And that way, as you see, we can go between our months, click into July, and we can start building July already. I typically like to look at the content that's performed well in the current month so we can start to model the content plan for the following month. I typically will look at the data on platforms for that, just as an aside. But one final thing to show you is that you can look at your week views as well, just in case you've got a lot of content going out like I have next week. It's nicer to look at the week view so we can clearly see what's happening across channels. And again, as you can see, as I hover over it, it gives us an opportunity to see the caption and see a bit more detail behind the post that's going out. All right, now we're going to create a quote post now. We're going to show you a new feature that's going to allow you to scale content creation a little bit quicker. So let's go back to home and let's go into recent. And here is a quote post template. Now, I don't want anything else to change on the template other than the background image and this quote, obviously. Now, to do that, we've got a new add-on here. You can access add-ons on the left-hand side. And if you search for batch create, you'll find this one. So let's go into batch create. The way this works is off a CSV or Excel file. So this will help Express know what details you want to change in this particular post. Now, in this example, I'm going to keep this super simple. I've created a CSV file with literally one column with quote and what the quotes are. So these are all like marketing inspiration quotes. Now, all I need to do with this is import that table I just shared. So put that in there, we're done. I'm going to press tab. Now, don't need to worry too much what a delimiter is, just press tab and you'll be good. Press continue. Now, we've got this text selected here, and all we're going to do in this node section is press these arrows. And as you can see, it's detecting that I want the quote here and it's pulling in the correct field because we've only got one field in our spreadsheet called quote, and it's pulling in the right field. And with that, I'm good. Press batch create. And look at that. We've now created 11 different variations of this post with our quotes now populated. Looking pretty good. Right. Now, of course, the background image is the same in each of them. So a nice, easy way of changing this is because they're text to image creations, you can just press the settings toggle here, press generate, and that's going to bring up the other generations related to that specific prompt. So I'm just going to change that one here. And again, press the background image, press toggle, press generate. Loads very quickly because we're using the same prompt. And I'll just do it one more time. In this instance, press generate. And there we go. We're going to use that one, I think. Perfect. All right. So now we've got 11 different pages here, a few different background images. Of course, I would work through the rest of them to make sure they're all different. But in this particular instance, we're going to do two things with this scaled batch creation. We don't want to put quote posts out all the time, but they're great to fill in gaps in our content plan, kind of evergreen content, if you will. So I'm going to multi-select these pages, these three, and this is a really easy way for us to share them as an Instagram carousel. We'll press share here. And let me just quickly refresh. Select the multiple pages that we want to create with. Press share. Press Instagram. And here we can write a caption. We're just going to call this marketing inspiration, because really we want the carousel to do the talking here. And with that, we can just preview it, see how our carousel will look. That looks pretty good to me. And with that, we could publish now immediately, but we don't want to do that actually. We want to schedule this for the right date and time. Our quote posts usually go out on a Wednesday, so let's move that to Wednesday 26th. Let me move it as well to around 8:30, because we do want to optimize our content to go out in the morning typically. Your audience might be slightly different for this purpose, but typically, as a general rule, engagement on social channels is highest in the morning. So we want to optimize for the morning. Great. Scheduled. All good. A great way of creating a really compelling Instagram carousel very quickly. But there's another way that we can use that post too. So we're going to head back into schedule, toggle back onto the month view. So we can now see our marketing inspiration post is now scheduled. Now that quote post that we created first from that caption generator, well, we don't want that going out on the 26th as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and move that to the following week. But now we want to add some imagery to it. So what we're going to simply do is just press browse, and we're going to go to that quote post example. And here it's going to find all the different pages that we've automatically created in this. I don't want to create all of these. I don't want to use all of these rather. So I'm just going to use that one, which was slide 5, because I quite like that one. I think that's really compelling. As a quote, we're going to just go ahead. Once we've uploaded that, we can preview it again to see what it's going to look like. So we've now got a compelling caption. We've now got a compelling visual with a really standout quote. So this looks pretty good. And we're just going to go ahead and save those changes. So that's now scheduled and good to go. In fact, it's not scheduled. I just need to remove the draft toggle. Now that's scheduled and good to go. Now, of course, I actually want to put this out on multiple platforms too, because we don't want it just to go on Facebook, because we have much more opportunity to think multi-channel to extend our reach. So we just click on that again, press more options, duplicate that post, and just simply unselect Facebook because we don't want it to go on Facebook again, but then put it on Insta, X, and LinkedIn. And then for X, let me remove X because I'll do that separately because the caption is a little too long. And we'll just go ahead and schedule. And with that, we can really start to see how quickly we can scale content creation. We can move and drag and drop if we need to, but now with the improved draft posts, the improved accessibility of your caption writer, and now the ability to bulk create, we can really start scaling social content creation. And I really hope you find some of these latest features in Content Scheduler useful. Thank you.